In the previous video that I made that I just uploaded, I showed you that it's highly likely that the Bitcoin bottom is in. So it's only up from now, right? Now we will have some bumps on the way, but today I want to show you something else as well, because it looks like a big crypto pump is coming. Now I'm talking mainly about Bitcoin, of course, because that's the leading crypto, but a lot of altcoins will follow. So why do I think that? What charts are showing that? And what can we potentially heading to? Let's take a look. Welcome to Fomotion HQ. Subscribe to the channel would help me a lot. The channel is brand new. Only the high stuff quality right here. So with that being said, let's dive right into the I'm fucking up this channel as well. Into the chart. First thing I want to show you is that what I checked out, and you'll see a lot of numbers on this screen right here. You're not tripping from LSD. No, this is actually something to keep in consideration, because if you take a look at the weekly chart for Bitcoin and you pull up the RSI, you'll notice that the purple line and the yellow line, are crossing, right? And the purple line is coming from below, crossing the yellow line. Now I checked out all the, well, not all the, but a couple of other times that happened and what it did to the price. And this might actually surprise you, because if we take a look at some previous times, what happened? Here we had the cross, right? From the moment it crossed to the moment it crossed back, we had a pump for Bitcoin of 27%. But that's basically the lowest pump that we had back then. Here it crossed as well, so we took it from the bottom to the, well, top of this, pump, and it depends. I can take it all the way here as well, by the way, though. So it's I'm taking the lowest price pumps basically. So it means that what happens right here is basically what we could expect for Bitcoin to do right now as well. Because it's not me saying like this happened in the past, so it happens right now as well. I hate that stuff. But all the times this happened, we got a pump here as well, 55%. Here we got the cross as well. What happened? 51%. Here we got the cross as well. What happened? 52%. Here we had a, slightly bigger one. Here we had the cross as well. Purple underneath the yellow line. Bam, pump. 290%. That was really an exception right there. Here we had the cross as well. At this point, what happens right here? 80%. Now we got a pump here because we got the cross. 28%. Now we got the cross right here as well. Will this cross play out just as the previous ones? Well, I can pull up a lot more. Like, this is just how I did it. I mean, I'm just going back into the charts right here. Pull up the Bitcoin chart. See, here we cross, right? Okay, so here we cross. What happened right here? Here we got a cross. Bitcoin pumped. How much did it pump? From the moment it crossed, it was, well, let's say around here till where it crossed back. So that was here. We had a pump of 150%. I can pull up a random cross and we had a big pump right there, right? So if that happens right now as well, we might all have to question like, what could happen? How much can we pump right now? Well, I haven't calculated the exact accurate average of this. But 150, 27, 55, 51, 290, 80, 28, let's say 50%, that's more than reasonable. Well, if we take a 50% from here, it will put Bitcoin at around $30,000, which is quite doable, since that's the, first like big resistance level that we're heading to. So that's just one thing. Sorry for spending so much time on one single indicator, but that's really what stood out to me, and that, nobody's really talking about that, so might as well do the job right here, right? Now we have this breakout here, of course. The trend for Bitcoin has changed. That's completely obvious. I mean, we are not in that downtrend anymore that we were in for the last couple of months, right? If we take a look at, for example, from November up till January, we were in a downtrend as well, and we broke that downtrend and we went up after that. So it's possible because after that we went down again. So purely based on that, it could be that we are going down. Although I don't believe so. Therefore, check the first video, the last video, the only video for now on this channel that I don't believe that we will see a new bottom. But what's pretty funny to see is that from the moment we have broken this trend, we can measure how much we gained from that point up till, like, you know, basically the highest point, which is around 24%, right? Not saying that, you know, we break out so we have a 24% pump, but if we pump 24%, it will put Bitcoin at around $27,000. Makes quite some sense. Compared to some other charts, also pointing out that that is a pretty realistic, you know, short midterm price range, if you ask me. Also, we managed to get above the 200 weekly moving average, right? And on this chart, you can see it right here as well. We went below it. We, you know, stayed up under for, you know, what was it, 6-7 weeks, and now we finally broke above it. Usually, when we go under it and break above it, it, you know, gives us a pretty nice pump after it. Was the case right here. It was the case right here. We were sitting at around, you know, $5,000. We broke above it and we went all the way back, you know, in a short period to $10,000. Now we went below it. Now we went above it. Let's see where it takes us. Also, Bitcoin just left the blue zone right here on the rainbow chart indicator. And what is that exactly? It's basically just saying at this level, you are crazy if you don't buy, and at this level, you're crazy if you don't sell. And basically, we are in the you are crazy if you don't buy region right now. So if we take a look right here, we just, you know, we entered the blue zone, the deeply blue zone, and we also left it. Now we can come back into it. Of course, it's possible. I don't know if it will happen because it doesn't happen in every Bitcoin bear rally, right? Here, as you can see, right, as well, in the 2017-18 bear market, we went all the way down, but we never really entered the blue zone. Little dipping toes here, but got right back out it, and that was a pretty significant price move from there. So, you know, if you feel like, okay, shit, yeah, okay, we are out of it, I'm too late to buy right now, let's fuck no, you're not too late. Okay, this channel will never get monetized now. But you're not too late, of course. I would suggest, you know, without giving you any financial advice, but what I'm doing is just, you know, dollar cost averaging into crypto. It's still a great time, you know. You should always dollar cost average, of course, but I think the stupidest thing you could do right now is not buying, because it will go to 10K. Chances are pretty big it won't go to 10K. Like I showed you in the last video, like that's a real gamble. Do you taking that? That's like, it probably will never ever goes back to 10K again. But nobody's sure. So why would you gamble on that? Just dollar cost average is the best strategy ever. Also, by the way, I don't know, and I don't really care also what happens in the short term, but if we go back to the chart, what stands out to me is that we were in this region right here for quite a long time, right? Bouncing, had some fake outs at the top, had some fake outs at the bottom, but we were really bouncing for a long time in this range right here. We finally broke out, and it's not only the horizontal line that we broke out of. Like I said, this diagonal line goes back months. This is from March. We're now in August. So this is like a long time. I think the pump is mainly because we broke out of that line. Now, of course, then we go down to test something. And what do we test? We test the horizontal line perfectly. But again, got bought up pretty quickly, shot right back up. And now once we, you know, closed above the 200 weekly moving average, we came down, we kind of almost tested it, and it looks like we're going up. By the time you watch this video, it might be under it or more above it. I don't know. Like I said, what happens in the really short term, it's not really that interesting, but Bitcoin is showing a lot of strength right here. Price forecast tool is also a very good way to, put some things in perspective, because basically, this deep blue line here is the Bitcoin price. And if you take a look at every single time that the price is touching these, what is it? Orange and pink line right here, whatever. Every time it touches it, it goes straight back up, right? Touch, straight back up. Here, touch. Well, not straight, but back up, right? Touch, back up. Touch, we go back up. We touched it here as well, pretty much. What do? Back up. It is like, it looks like such a great time to finally admit that this was probably the bottom, you bear. Now, what to make of this? This could mean two things, but I really like it. These are the whale wallets, right? So every Bitcoin wallet with more than 1,000 Bitcoin, then you're officially a whale, right? So the blue line is the Bitcoin price, and the orange line is the amount of wallets with more than 1,000 Bitcoin. Well, if you put some things in perspective, over time this grows, right? So whales understand that they should be in for the long term. They should not massively sell. But what I do like is usually when the price goes up, the whales are dumping, because whales understand, like, okay, is the price high, then we sell. Is the price low, then we buy, right? I mean, here as well, price goes down, and what do the whales do? They buy it up. Here it's slightly different though, because if we take a look at the last couple of months, to put it like that, you'll see that the price here is coming down, but the whale wallets are also going down. So what stands out to me is that some whales are actually selling right now while the price is going up. So what does that mean? The price is going down because whales sell. In that case, retail is strong because every dip got bought up. Like I said, you saw it. Like every little dip, bam, we buy, right? Or we get rid of the other paper hand whales, because then we get rid of those, right? Because these whales are, try to dump on us, and at a certain point they run out of it, and the price is still strong. And then when the real whales that know that we should hodl think it's time to buy more, then we shoot up way more. I don't know what to make of this. But it's at least interesting to see. It's funny that, the Bitcoin wallet sizes of more than 100 Bitcoin, so also pretty big ass whales, they are basically not doing anything for the last couple of years. They're not buying, they're not selling. It's like they're just holding on, relax. So these guys have faith in Bitcoin, and they just feel like, okay, I got what I want. Let's ride it out. Let's see what happens. Also, though, over time it grows. Now this is pretty interesting. The Bitcoin wallets with more than one Bitcoin. So not every typical retail investor, because I don't think that the average person invests more than 20K in crypto. But the people with smaller sizes, they buy it up, though. They buy it up. They really buy it up. Look, the price coming down and these wallets growing. So if you want to consider this as retail, then we can definitely say that retail they are in. Now, what I also love to see is this. This is the 1 year hodl wave. This means the amount of percentages of Bitcoin that has not been moved within a year. And that's growing. And the funny thing is that it's only going up since, pretty much November last year. So, but that was the dump, right? So what's kind of funny, since Bitcoin is coming down, there are more and more people that are not moving their Bitcoin. They just keep it where it is. And that's quite interesting, that more and more people feel like, nah, we're not going to sell this. We're not going to do anything with this. We just let it be. And that tells me that people have a lot of conviction in crypto, and that over time, this will be worth a lot more, of course. So this is looking pretty interesting, that so many people decide to not sell their Bitcoin. Because if people wanted to sell their Bitcoin, for the bears here, like you're waiting for a big dip. Well, if people wanted to sell their Bitcoin, they could have sold at 69K. They could have sold at, 17 point, what was it, 6K. Now it is 23K, something like that. So if these people really wanted to sell, then they would have done it by now. Now let's go back to the charts, because Bitcoin, all nice and all, but it's not my biggest holding yet. So I'm really all about the altcoins. So what does it mean for the altcoins? Well, we can definitely take a look at that, because the altcoins are pretty strong. What I find quite funny though is that at the moment of recording, the stock market is super strong. This is the Nasdaq, super strong. This is the S&P 500, super strong. Broke a big ass trend line right here. So going on a rampage right here. And Bitcoin is, kind of flat, for now, not really moving up, not really moving down. So, well, it's correlated, right? So what does that tell us? Could there be a bigger Bitcoin pump coming, or was the Bitcoin pump already happening and is now the Nasdaq and all the stocks following? Well, I don't know about that exactly, but I think this is a good one to keep an eye on, because the Nasdaq is facing some big resistance right now. If we take a trend line right here and we draw it, well, pretty much where we are right now, give or take, right? Somewhere around here, you'll see that it was big resistance here. It was support here, support here. We had a lot of support going on right here. We have a lot of support here. This is just a big level. Chances are pretty big that, the Nasdaq is going to get rejected at this point, right? If that happens, then we'll probably see a short-term Bitcoin dip as well. However, at some point, resistances are there to break, right? So at some point, this will be broken. Then it is going to be very interesting to see what Bitcoin is going to do, because that could really trigger a big Bitcoin run. So really curious to see how that plays out. The Bitcoin dominance, because we talked about altcoins, is very interesting as well. Me as, an altcoin lover, wanted the Bitcoin dominance to be lower. All right. So for now, I like what I see, because we're making we make a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So what would happen? Well, will it go back up? Maybe around here, somewhere at 43%, something like that. Probably. Maybe go down back then to 40, 41 would be nice. If we manage to break this level, to go down here, and we test this big support level, and we break that, then this is probably the new level, and that would mean a big altcoin pump. So it would kind of trigger an alt season in a bear market. That would be very nice to see, basically. And speaking about altcoins, alt season, like our bear markets, is the bull market back? Because we saw a Bitcoin pump, right? Well, no, this is not a bull market for me. I mean, this is more going sideways, if you put it in bigger perspective, than a bull market. However, Bitcoin is showing some signs, like I said, for example, breaking this trend line right here, breaking this trend line right here, breaking back above the 200 weekly moving average, all that kind of stuff, following the same patterns as it did before, where big gains were to be made. It at least is a very good bear market rally. And a bear market rally, I see a lot of people don't know exactly what a bear market rally is. It's just where Bitcoin rallies to the upside during the bear market. It's what usually happens in a bear market. Doesn't mean we are out of the woods yet. Now, when are we exactly out of the woods? When, in my opinion, are we out of the bear market? Well, let's take the trend line from the top of the previous run and let's draw it. And if we break that trend line, then, in my opinion, we are out of the bear market. So we have to break this yellow trend line right here, which is a big level to break, because for now, if we have to break it today, it will be around $30,000. Well, probably won't happen today, right? If it happens in 1.5 months from now or 2 months from now, then it has to be, 21.7, something like that, right? So there could be a bit, like the coming 2 months are going to be very, very important in my opinion, because these are big support levels. We, as a bull, you don't want to see, you know, we could follow, we could break the 21,000 and go back in this range again. All it does is making things really boring, right? If we break this, however, in the 19,000, you know, and we have some fake outs or whatever, but basically 90,000, 18.5. If you break that, yeah, then I would say it would be very bad. But like I said, that would mean a new low, and nothing really shows that a new low is on the table. So I don't think that. But the coming 2 months are going to be very important, because either that happens or we break to the upside. If we break to the downside, then I don't know, I have to revisit, have to recalculate, have to check what, you know, by that time. But if we break to the upside, then I am, you know, pretty much convinced that the bull market is going to start again. So that's going to be very interesting. As far as the altcoins go, damn, do your research on what good altcoins are, because I don't know. I feel like now is maybe the time to check it out. I don't think you have a lot of time left, to be really honest. If we take a look at the total 3, this is the crypto market without Bitcoin and Ethereum, so only altcoins except Ethereum. Then we'll see that it's sitting at super low levels, right? And we're ranging in this, you know, range right here. But, you know, we break up to the upside at one point, and then there is not a lot of resistance up till, not a lot of big resistance up till here, right? So that's already quite a lot up. So yeah, I'm really curious to see how that's going to play out. So yeah, let me know what you think. But if you ask me, there are some fun times ahead of us. So my prediction, midterm, short-term, midterm, let's say within now and the end of August, beginning of September, would be around 27, 28K. I think that's pretty doable, pretty realistic. Let's head back in a month to see if I'm right about this. Let me know what your thoughts are. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get this one to 1,000 subscribers, guys. We can do this. Trade safe. I hope we make a lot of money together, man. Whack me, whack me. We are gonna make it at least. See you soon, guys. Bye.